It's very easy to get confused about what the Labyrinth by Kobold Press actually is and how to run a campaign in the Labyrinth and the many worlds connected by the Labyrinth. And that is exactly why Kobold Press has created a Labyrinth Adventures book for you to get properly acquainted with the Labyrinth. Hi there fellow roleplayers and game masters, my name is Mr. Tarask and today I want to do another video on the Labyrinth by Kobold Press. Now this is my third video if I'm not mistaken on the Labyrinth. My first video was all about like what you get for your money when you buy the books and like the general idea of what the Labyrinth actually is. The second video I went a little bit deeper into how kind of mechanically the entire thing works. Now if you are more interested in that kind of stuff and want to know what it actually is, make sure to check out one of those videos. But even if you read the book, especially the world book, and even if you go super deep into it, it can be quite a daunting task to actually start running a game inside the Labyrinth and the many worlds connected by the Labyrinth, right? So that is why Kobold Press also made a adventure book for the Labyrinth. And that is why I want to quickly do this video about this adventure book, because I really like when Kobold Press comes with a campaign setting or whatever, like a forest campaign setting, like the Margrave, stuff like that, and they add an adventure book with that to actually teach you how to run games inside that particular setting. And especially the last couple ones that came out, they do especially well because they do something new with them that really makes it a lot of fun, even for the GM, a lot more fun and a lot easier for you to run and actually tie the adventures together. So what I want to do in this video is quickly talk about what you get for your money, read from the back, give you my quick impressions, and then we'll take a look at the PDF and I will show you what I mean with that one thing about this that I absolutely love. So the Labyrinth Adventures book will set you back $45 or 64 Canadian dollars, and there's not a euro thing on here, which is a fair price for a book of this quality. So tales of adventure across 10,000 worlds. The pathways to next heroic quests are open with Labyrinth Adventures. The 12 adventures found in this book for characters level 1 through 8 are perfect for your Tales of the Valiant campaign. Experience them as separate quests easily brought into your game. So that is the main thing. You can use all of these quests, you can pick them out, drag and drop them into your campaign. That kind of content is always nice to have on your shelf when you're looking for like, oh, I want a adventure in I'm right now playing with my players in a low fantasy setting. I might want to take like one of these adventures from here that's pretty low fantasy and I want to drop it into my game. What I want to say about that is this takes you all across different worlds, right? There's like 12 adventures in here, all from levels 1 to 8, and it will take you across different worlds, meaning that there is an adventure in here for almost any D&D / Tales of the Valiant game you can imagine yourself playing, which is actually a great little bit of extra when it comes to this book. But then they say, or string them together as an epic journey across multiple worlds in search of a shattered portal key. And that is actually all what I want to talk about in this video. That is actually what I really like about Kobold Press right now. When they do these adventure books, they now tie the adventures together. It used to be for a very long time. For example, there's the Old Margrave, right? One of my favorite books, a setting in a forest, a magical forest setting, and they have an adventure book for that. And the old adventure book just had a bunch of adventures done, right? Which is not that great, right? But then they revamped it kind of. They took some adventures out, put some adventures in, rewrote some stuff about it, and they actually added a overarching storyline to tie all of those adventures together. And oftentimes these overarching storylines are pretty damn basic, pretty damn cliche, but they work. And that's the most important thing about it. They work and they give the GM the tools to actually run these adventures back to back and make players care about running the adventures back to back. Then they give a few like examples of adventures in here. One of the coolest one is climb aboard a runaway train hurling between worlds in search of its lost inventor. Yes, you heard that correctly. And then at the end they say the path through the labyrinth begins here. Try not to get lost. This book is literally made so you don't get lost. So, thanks, I guess. So without further ado, here's the PDF to Labyrinth Adventures. And as you can see, when you scroll down in the table of contents, there is an introduction section, and then there are all the adventures, all with a synopsis, which I really like. There used to be books in the past of these adventure books of other settings that didn't have a synopsis written with them when you had the table of contents. So you just needed to go from the title and be like, okay, this sounds interesting, or this sounds interesting. And they all go from level 1 all the way up to level 8. As you can see, there's 2 level 5 ones, there's 2 level 3 ones, and that kind of stuff, right? So there's 12 of these, and some of these are really weird and take you to some weird places and to some weird worlds, but that is what the Labyrinth is all about, of course. But it is the introduction setting that actually interests me the most. Now, it is all pretty basic, it is all pretty simple, but it is nevertheless really cool and well done. And that is this connecting the adventures section. So what they have done here is they have created a magic item. Well, no, they haven't created a magic item. And this is something that I dislike a little bit about what Kobold Press is doing, tying books together and kind of making you buy other books, or kind of like hinting towards having you to buy other books. And that is, this magic item comes from Vault of Magic. That is this book, Vault of Magic, which is a book from Kobold Press, all full of magic items. And on page 199 of this book, there is a Fulton door. Now, I say on page 199, but in reality, it is page 199. It's page 2. Wait. Page 199. Page 198. Page 199, page 200, page 201, and page 202. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages for one magic item. It's right here, right? So they talk about that in this section. Now, there's stuff you need to know about this magic item, or for you as a game master to like kind of improvise your way around the magic item. Is in the adventure book. So you don't really necessarily need to buy the Vault of Magic, but if you want to go further with the magic item, or you want to really use the magic item to its core for your own game, you're going to need to buy the Vault of Magic, or have a friend of yours take a picture of the Vault of Magic for that one magic item for you to be able to use that, right? So basically, the Fulton door is kind of like a teleportation portal, but it has all kinds of different uses. And basically, if you put a key in it and you imagine where you want to go, you can go there. The more shards, the more pieces of this door you have, the better it works. If you only have one piece, so you add this to just a common door. You take a common door and then you add all of these pieces to that door. And the more of these pieces you have, the stronger it becomes. At first, if you only have one piece, right, you can only like teleport 100 feet to where you want to go. Then if you have 3 or 4 pieces, you can basically teleport. No, that's like 8 pieces or something like that. You can teleport home all the time. Or you can place the door somewhere and then take the key with you. If you have 4 or 5 pieces, take the key with you. And then if you're in a dungeon and you want to go to the location of where you left your door, you just go use that key for a random dungeon door, and you go through that door and you end up at the end of where your Fulton door is, and you go through that Fulton door and you're back home or whatever. Am I making any sense? That's basically what the Fulton door is all about, and all there is to it is that the person who created it messed up, it exploded, and all of the pieces are everywhere in the Labyrinth, in different worlds in the Labyrinth. And basically, it is up to the players to do all of these adventures of the adventure book and find all of these pieces in order to recreate the door for them, because the person who screwed up, the door kind of exploded magically, the shards are everywhere, but the person who created it also disappeared. So the pupil who hires the party to do all of these quests, they think that by recreating the door, the Fulton door, they can go to the place where where the inventor was teleported to. Am I still making any sense? The more I talk about the Labyrinth, the less sense I feel I'm making. But that's basically what it is. It's a magical teleporting door. There's a pupil who wants you to go and find all of the pieces, and they are willing to give you 500 gold pieces a piece. And that's up to the players to decide if they want to do that, yes or no. Now, the cool thing about this, the cool thing about the way this is set up, and this is what I like. So, no, first of all, of course, there's this entire piece about why this regime wants you to have that door. Of course, they want to find their master who created the door, who disappeared with the door. Then they have their own block, which Kobold Press now does, which I really like, which is like Regine is a she-her human mechanist. Her personality traits are friendly and kind, sometimes wistful, driven by her work. Her bonds are her mentor, the keepers of the key, that kind of stuff. If you do not know what the Keepers of the Key are, I talk about that in one of my other Labyrinth videos. They're basically the people who watch over all of the portals in the Labyrinth. And they kind of like organize all of that, fix them if they're broken, find them, track them down if they're lost, that kind of stuff, right? Their flaws are a messy workspace, sometimes a little bit distracted, so they have ADHD, like me. And their wants are the pieces of the Fulton door to find their master and return them home, right? That's really cool for the game master to like really quickly see what they're all about and remember like, oh yeah, it was this person. I just need to like glance at this block of text to know who they are and how I was role-playing them, right? I really love Kobold Press doing that. These last couple of books they're doing that. With Tales of the Valiant, they kind of started introducing that kind of stuff more. I really, really, really love that. And I know there's people who have a problem that there are fucking pronouns in there. Yes, there's pronouns in there, and if you have a problem with there being pronouns in there, fuck you. Anyway, so the Fulton door is the main thing. Now, the cool thing about this is, although there's 12 pieces to find, and every adventure has one piece, right? They say here which pieces where. Every adventure also has like a bit of like how it is tied into the Fulton door main thing. So you have this adventure, there's this first adventure, blah, yada, yada, yada. There's always a piece connecting the adventure or something like that. Yeah, cool. Cool. Now I can. Oh, this is because it's the first adventure. After the first adventure, they are introduced to this person, and then once the first adventure is done, you go into the second adventure. There's always like this bit of like how you can connect this to. I cannot find it for the life of me. I don't know why, but I promise it's in there. There's always the bit of how you connect this to and how the players find this one piece. But it is up to you to never tell the players how many pieces there actually are. If you don't tell the players how many pieces there are, you can just, after like 6 or 7 adventures, your players you feel like they're kind of like getting bored of the Labyrinth setting or whatever. They don't really want to do this anymore. You're just like, okay, the door is complete. Congratulations, it all worked, right? Or something else you can do, and this is the way I would handle it, is they would gather all kinds of these pieces from different adventures, but they might be gone for like a week doing an adventure. Come back. There might be another piece that turned up. Another party might have found another piece in another adventure, right? So they go find a piece of the missing of the Fulton door. They come back. There's 3 pieces because other adventurers are also looking for the pieces. That makes a lot of sense, right? So there's a lot of wiggle room here, and I really like the way it's super simple. It's kind of cliche, like, oh, find all the missing pieces of a magic item, which is like super basic RPG stuff. But the way they write it, it is just super open-ended, and that is what I really, really love about this book. And the reason that my players are going to end up in the Labyrinth, and I'm going to run a few of these adventures for them. And that's kind of it for the Labyrinth Adventures book for now, because I want to run through some of these adventures before I actually review and talk about why I find them fun or what my problem is with them. So I really love this. I really love some of these adventures in here that I want to play, especially the one with the train going through different worlds. That is really a wicked idea that I absolutely love. I love that they tied it together with a main story kind of thing, for you looking for a magic item that has a reason, it packs a punch, makes players care about a certain NPC. I don't really like that they kind of hint towards you buying Vault of Magic. I don't like that kind of practices that much, but I also understand why they do it. So if you want to you want me to talk more about the Labyrinth, go deeper into how it works, like the factions, the magic items, everything there is about the Labyrinth, the different worlds, the different pathways, make sure to hit the thumbs up on this video. Ask me questions in the comments, so I know what to make videos about. And until next video, bye bye.